Hello and welcome in everyone. We are playing some more Sky Factory 3 today. And where we left off last time is we built our smeltery and then we started to make a few things out of it, just a few pieces of iron and copper that we have. And so the next thing that we're going to need to do is really start to ramp up the production of those resources of metals, especially iron. I mentioned last time that in the long run, or we'll call it the medium run, let's say, in terms of goals, we're going to want to be making our way towards some auto sieves and auto hammers as well in order to automate some of that production, so we don't have to worry about grinding things down manually with a hammer and then sieving them and taking all these parts and doing the whole thing in the smeltery and all of that. So eventually we're going to get to a point where we're just going to have a set it and forget it process that's going to be making a ton of resources for us. But we're a little bit of ways away from that, so just some of the things we'll need for that down the line. We're going to need a lot of iron for the auto sieves, and for the auto hammers we are actually going to need some diamond. And the other thing that we need to run these is going to be some power generation. So if we look at different generators that are going to be available to us to generate power, there's a lot of different things, and most of these are just similar, but they're just, you put different things into them and then it uses those as fuel to generate power. There are some nuclear reactors and some very high level power generation that you can get to. There's also solar panels, which are a good way to generate power. So we're either going to look at this magmatic generator, just because we do have a way to generate lava, and so we could pump lava into this generator, I believe, and set that up continuously so we can just have a good solid power source running. Or the other way we could do that would be to do some of these solar panels, which are not too difficult. It's mostly just, it's a lot of glass and iron, and these are an example of one of these mods, the Solar Flux Reborn mod, where there's different levels to things. So you create a solar panel, and then that's made out of mirrors and wood and redstone, and then you can make a solar panel level 2, and that takes 8 of the original solar panels. And then solar panel 3 takes 4 of the solar panel 2s plus some other things that you're going to need to make. So and each one generates more power and does it more efficiently. So that is maybe a good mod for us to play around with in terms of being able to upgrade, and a great example of how a lot of things in Sky Factory work, which is like, oh, I did a bunch of work to make this new thing, and now, oh, I want to make the next one. Okay, now I have to do 8 of what I just did before. And so it gets back to that progression. So but either way, we're going to need, for either of those, I believe we need some redstone. So the way, just if we take a look here, the easiest way that we can get redstone is to sieve it from dust going through an iron stiffened mesh or a diamond stiffened mesh. And from an iron stiffened mesh, putting dust through, we can also get iron out, which we need a lot of. We'll probably need some gold at some point. Black quartz is useful, blaze powder. So there's a lot of useful other things in here, as well as redstone. So that'll be one thing we'll want to do. And then we also, like I said, for the auto hammer, we're going to need some diamonds. And the way to get diamonds is to sieve gravel through the iron stiffened mesh. So dust and gravel are both going to be useful. Now, something we haven't touched on yet, and we'll actually get into doing some things here. I know I'm doing a lot of explaining off the top, but I kind of want to set us up for where we're going in the next couple of episodes and sort of why we're going to be starting out doing some of the new processes that we're going to be doing here. Another thing you can do is build a heavy sieve and use compressed resources, so compressed gravel, compressed dust, whatever. And basically you're going to take 9 gravel and put it into a crafting table and compress it down into compressed gravel. And then when you put that single block through the heavy oak sieve, it will get 9 times the resources that you would get out of an individual block. And so it's just a way to kind of slightly streamline that process. Now, in order to make a heavy sieve, we just need some oak logs, which is pretty easy. Now, it's not, the sieving itself is not any more efficient really, because we can do 9 at a time of regular blocks here, so that doesn't really get us to do that any faster. And I don't believe you can do that with the heavy sieve. It's only 1 at a time. But where it will save us some time doing the compressed version is in having to place, if you remember from, if you watched it, the previous episode where we did some sieving, to get to the right resource, so whether that's gravel or dust or sand, you have to place blocks and then hammer them down and go through this whole process. So I think it'll be a little bit more efficient if we start doing some compressed. So let's do this. One thing that I do want to get started first, though, before we get into our whole sieving operation, we are going to need some food. Now that we're less reliant on continuously growing trees and chopping them down, our supply of apples, which we had been using for food, has run dry. So I think what I'm going to do is start a little carrot farm, and there's other things we'll probably need to farm for too at some point. But I think for now, carrots are going to be just a good and easy starting place for us. Actually, I don't want to use the dirt here. Oh, man, I lost it. So let me get some wood. And we'll extend out our platform here. And like I said last time, I will reorganize our platform here at some point and kind of build it out into more permanent structures that'll make sense. But for that, we're probably going to need more resources and more kind of efficient production of things. So we're still, it's fine to me to do some temporary structures here. And once we get to the point where we feel like that doesn't really support us anymore, then we can start to redesign and build something more permanent. Trying to think of how I want to lay this out and what the right structure is here. I probably don't need it actually too wide. Let's see. Go one more out here. Okay. So what I want to do is place down a bunch of dirt. Start right here. I'm not really sure I like how I laid this out, but I think it'll be fine. Out a little bit wider. So we're just going to be building a little farm. So in Minecraft, a farm, kind of a basic farm like this, you just need dirt, and then you need to have water that is within a certain range of the blocks that you need. Okay. That seems like about the right number of blocks here. Just put that right there. So now let's get, we have one water bucket. Put that down right here. Fill these up. So we need to set up some water. Okay, that's good to go. And then we need a hoe. Stone is fine. Some cobblestone. And we have that. Okay, and now we can just, we only have 7 seeds, so we'll put them right there. And now we'll let that grow, and as we start to, yeah, that's getting water now. So as we get through some of our processes, hopefully we'll grow some carrots, and we can make that into carrot juice, and that'll be a pretty good, sustainable supply of food for us. All right, so now let's get into making some compressed cobblestone. So we have 1 stack here. So let's get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more stacks of cobblestone. And then we'll fill up our inventory here, and that's going to make a stack of compressed cobblestone. So let's make some more of that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we'll come over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so that's 2 stacks of compressed cobblestone. And then the other thing we're going to need in order, which we're going to need more cobblestone for, is we're going to need a bunch of sticks. All right, plenty of sticks because we need to make, no, we don't need a compressed hoe. We need a stone compressed hammer. I'd love to make this out of iron, but we don't have enough iron yet, so we'll have to do it with stone. So let's go. Let's just make as many of these as we can fit in our inventory. And we can't have a broken one. Okay, so that's a compressed stone hammer. So let's make another one of these. That's fine. Let's get rid of this broken one because it keeps getting in the way. And so how many more hammers? We have 3 hammers. Let's make 6 more. Oh, I have exactly enough for 6 more. Perfect. We can make 1 more compressed hammer. All right, so now I have 2 stacks of compressed cobblestone, 3 compressed hammers, and now I can start placing this down. So like I said, it seems like we're having to do the same thing, which I said would be more efficient, where we're placing down all these blocks, but placing down a stack of these is equivalent to placing down 9 stacks of regular cobblestone. So even though the sieving process isn't going to be any more efficient, it seemed like it was a little bit of a waste of time to spend time making all of that stuff. When we get done with this, we're going to have compressed the equivalent of 18 stacks of cobblestone into 18 stacks of gravel in one fell swoop. And yeah, so there's a ton of gravel, so we need to recompress this, as much of it as we can, into compressed gravel. Pick up some more. Hopefully none of it fell off the edge here. There we go. So there's 2 stacks compressed gravel, and this will be a little bit easier if we clean out our inventory and allow more things to fit in here. I have so many wooden shears that I didn't end up using. We'll need them at some point, I'm sure, to make more dirt, but I guess we don't have too many things that we can get rid of. I should probably just make another chest. Just to maybe put some of these excess tools and stuff in. It's not a great system at the moment, but it'll do. Okay, so some of those things that we intentionally have a bunch extra of. Probably end up needing those stone hammers at some point, but I'll move them over there for now. Rope. Okay, I think this will do just fine. And then in this one, we can put some of our other things back in here that we don't need. Smooth stone, dust we'll be using soon. Okay. That will do just fine for now. So now that we have compressed gravel, we want an iron stiffened mesh. That's the other benefit of doing it in the heavy oak sieve, is we only need to make 1 mesh for that instead of needing to make 9. So iron stiffened mesh is 4 pieces of iron, 5 string, which I only have 2 iron. Oh, but I have 4 more ore pieces. So I can take this and I can put it in here, and that should get us 2 more ingots, which should be enough. So I'm gonna do 1 stack of gravel, and then I'm gonna do 1 stack of dust to try and get some redstone out of that. So place a bunch of these down. And we'll just do one full stack of this. And we'll get it down to sand. There we go. Fill up our inventory with sand. Now, is there anything we need with sand? I think we get from doing sand. So compressed sand and an iron stiffened mesh. Prosperity shards, yellorium, that is for making a reactor. Ancient spores, cocoa beans, nothing that we need. I remember needing a bunch of these prosperity shards for, I believe, oh, for mystical agriculture. Yeah, that's pretty useful down the road, but not anything too immediate. So I'll probably skip doing any compressed sand. And we will use the compressed sand to make compressed dust. Somehow we lost a few pieces of sand in there. We lost one compressed sand's worth. I'm not sure. Oh, I didn't do one of these. That's why. There's 9 pieces of sand. And there we go, full stack. So let's do this process one more time to just place all of these blocks down. There's probably some more efficient ways to do this than just wandering around like a crazy person placing blocks down, but this is fine for now. And okay. And now we have all of our dust that we can compress to compressed dust. So once we make our iron stiffened mesh, just need these 2 quick pieces of iron. And now we can bring that over here and make our iron stiffened mesh. I moved on my string. Okay, so now I can make one of these. And this can go in here. And now I should be able to run through this compressed gravel, which we can make, get a lot of stuff out. Look, we already got a diamond. So yeah, getting diamonds will be extremely helpful. One, to make the auto hammers, which we need it for, but just to make other tools, things as well that are a lot more durable. So just to take a quick look, we've done 14 here, and we've gotten some lapis, iron pieces, lead, a few different resources, and then we've gotten our 1 diamond. We actually got that really quick. That was just good luck, I guess, because it's only like a 1 or 2% chance or something like that to get diamond out of one of these. So that was fortunate. But so now we've already gotten 23 pieces of iron. So now we can get some more of this cooking up. So So we'll get those melting down. Come back over here and do some more sieving. Okay, so now we've compressed all of our gravel. Or excuse me, we've sieved all of our compressed gravel. Oh, and look, I got a little Santa hat. Oh, that's cool. So you can see we've gotten over a stack worth of iron pieces, a bunch more. We've got 9 diamonds total, almost a stack of gold pieces. So let's go ahead and compress some more iron down. And let's go ahead and do some. So if you haven't really seen what I'm doing here, I'm taking these iron pieces that we get out of the sieve, don't really do anything for us. So same thing with gold and with the rest of these. I'm just taking them down, and you take 4 of them together in a square, and that makes the gold, the ore chunks that are what you can actually use to make ingots and stuff out of. So I'll just go ahead and cook up some of these different metals. I don't have a direct use for most of these just at the moment, but I might as well get some of them going a little bit. So that's all. So if I make the smeltery taller, if I build more rows of these seared bricks up top, then I can actually have more room inside this controller to smelt more things down at once. But I'm not too worried about it yet. Our production is not that crazy. You can see our carrots are starting to grow just a little bit, which is good because we're running low on food. But now that stuff is cooking, we can start compressing some of our, or excuse me, I keep saying compressing. We can sieve some of our compressed dust. And we've already gotten some blaze powder, so you can see just that there are different materials that we're getting out of here. So after only doing about 10, you can see we have redstone, we have crushed black quartz, we have getting more iron, more gold, some of the same things, but then blaze powder, redstone, this being the one that we're actually probably going to need most quickly. So let's go ahead and sieve the rest of this down. Now, if you're asking yourself, hey, if the heavy oak sieve with the compressed materials is far more efficient and faster in terms of getting them hammered down and everything, then why did you go through the trouble of making 9 of these regular sieves? And the answer is sometimes I forget things. And I remember that there was this, but I didn't really remember how the process worked. So a lot of this is going to be me kind of slowly remembering things over time, and sometimes having to stop and look it up and whatnot. So, all right, now that we did all of that and compressed and sieved all of our dust, we have a lot more resources, iron and whatnot, and we have some redstone and diamond as well. As a bit of a final thing for this episode, I want to make a special tool that I can be using for a little while right here. And it's called a Diamond AIoT, which stands for All-in-One Tool. And so it takes all of the main tools and you make one of each, and then it compresses it down into one thing so that whether you need to chop wood, use it as a sword, mine blocks like cobblestone and stuff, all the benefits of each individual tool down into one thing that you don't have to switch between and make new ones of with more durability added. So that's a cool, just nice quality of life feature that this mod pack has. So I'd love to make one of these out of diamond now that I have 9 diamonds, but I think I'm going to need, because this is 3, this is 3, this is 1, so that's 7, this is 2, which is 9, and then this is 2, which is 11. So I'm going to need 2 more diamonds, so let's do just 1. I'm not going to do a whole stack. Let's just do a little bit of compressing of some cobblestone. We'll just do a few pieces here. Let's see if we can't get... Oh, and I am dying of hunger. Do I have any food? Oh, and my carrots aren't ready yet. Well, I probably won't starve to death because I think I'm on normal mode, but I won't be able to vein mine. Just a little unfortunate. I'm just going to take myself down to half a heart, and I have to try not to take any damage, jump off anything, take any fall damage, anything like that, because although I won't die from hunger, I will be at very low health from it. So now I have a bunch of gravel that I can compress. Did I miss some? I keep doing that. There we go. Okay, so now I have 16 compressed gravel, so let's see if we can't get a couple more diamonds out of this batch. It's like a little bit of playing the lottery here. There's one. We're about halfway through what we made, so that's a good sign. Let's see if we can get one more. Oh, come on. And there it is. Perfect. Okay, I'll just finish this out. Finish that out. And now we have all the diamond we need in order to make these tools. So let's start with oops, I made a chest, that's why. Okay, we have, and let me just cook up some of this because I need to make room in my inventory anyway. And we'll throw you in here. You can see all of that is now molten iron and molten gold. And if these are now going to turn into blocks of iron, which I can store more efficiently than ingots. 8 ingots goes into a block, so let's put some of this stuff away just to clear up some space. We'll make our pickaxe and our sword and our shovel. Last but not least, our diamond hoe. Just definitely not overkill or anything, and then we can get our diamond all in one tool. And oh, we got the actually additions manual, since that was the first thing from this mod that we made. So maybe at some point we can take a look at that and see what kind of cool things are in that mod. But yeah, that will do it for this episode. I now have some blocks of iron, so I have plenty of that. I know we said we were going to get diamonds so we can make the auto hammers, but we're still a few steps away from that, and we'll need to probably do some more sieving anyway, so we'll get some more diamond for those. I may do a little bit of sieving off camera before the next episode just so we can have some more resources in place. But that being said, I think next time we can start looking towards building our first power generation and our auto hammers and our auto sieves now that we have a decent amount of iron and some of these other resources to play with. So yeah, that will do it for this episode. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and come back for more videos if you enjoyed, and that'll be it. So long and sleep well.